Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. I am Anastasia. You can call me Stasia. So, I want to take you through on how to make your samosa at ready to fry. The truth is that samosa is a little stressful, but it's a very lucrative business. In Nigeria today, a lot of people use it for parties, birthdays, burials, ceremonies, mini gatherings. It's a good business for anybody, a sit at home mom, businesses you can do from the comfort of your home. It's almost like in fact, it's a side hustle for those who have 6 to 5 jobs, 6 to 6 jobs. These works are usually weekend jobs, and for the fact that you can store it in your freezer is a very beautiful thing to do. So what you see me do, I'll put the description below on the measuring. I'm making a 1 kg flour to achieve samosa and spring roll wraps. This should give me about 55 spring roll, 55 samosa, or even more. But this one, it gave me 55 spring roll, 57 samosa, due to I didn't use all the batter. The remaining batter, I used it to act as the sealant, meaning it can even yield up to 60 samosa using 1 kg. So just watch how I do this. Observe the consistency of the dough. That's very important. Observe the consistency, the movement on how I work on this. I started by showing you the flour. I added sugar. I added salt. I added cornflour before I started adding water. The cup I use in measuring this is the 3/4 cup. That's what I used from beginning. If I don't want to go and come out and be showing different measuring, so that's in 3/4, which I use in measuring my corn flour, is what I use in measuring the water. I think it's about 6 to 7 cup of that for the water. When you're working, you just observe. So you see how I'm making this. I'm beating it so it will be a little stretchy. Let it be a little stretchy. Concentrate on the consistency. That's where the thing is. You see how it is looking as if it is gathering gluten, or what will I call it. So you see how stretchy it looks. By the time you're done with this, I don't know how many minutes, but that's why I concentrate more on, you watch the consistency. Once you're done, you allow it to rest for 30 minutes to 1 hour. Within 30 minutes to 1 hour, this should be fine. So I've covered it. Now let's prep for samosa and spring roll. I have my carrots, my ginger, onions, green pepper, sweet corn. We also have minced meat and cabbage by the corner. So this is how I do it, using my grater. That very tiny part, I use it to grate my garlic. I don't have ginger, so I just used only garlic. You can as well put ginger. So once I'm done with it, I scoop it to the plate, then I grate. Observe this grating now. I'm grating for samosa. So grating for samosa, I'm using the thin part. I'll show you later. I'll use the thin part to grate for samosa. When I'm done grating for samosa, I'll also cut green pepper for the way I do cut for samosa. I try my best to make samosa feels tinier because we are using beef for it. So look at how it came out. It came out little and tiny, and it's always perfect for samosa. Then for the green pepper, I also dice it. I dice my green pepper in little cubes, so that when it comes together, it will give it this beautiful marriage. When they marry together, it will come out beautiful. Sweet corn is small, is in cube form, little green pepper, little minced meat, little, everything else should be little as well, so that it will have a beautiful outcome. So once I'm done with all 4 samosa, I will start that for the spring roll. I'm not much a long talker, but just focus more on what I do. It is very easy and direct. So So once I'm done with this, I'll start for the spring roll. So if you're watching us for the first time, please feel free to like. You can drop your comments. I am open to respond to your comments. You can share, you can like. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. Once I see this, I'll be encouraged to do more. So what you're seeing now is I'm slicing this green pepper in strands form, because this one will be using it for spring roll. We'll be using this one for spring roll. So everything for the spring roll will make it to be long, thin and long. Everything for the spring roll will be thin and long. Then you also see how I'll grate the carrot for spring roll. Now you see I've changed the parts where I grate for spring roll. You see now, yes, this is what I'm saying. This is the bigger part, that's for spring roll. Then this part is a smaller part for samosa, bigger part for spring roll. So that's how we'll grate it, so that, and you see the way I keep my carrots, I keep it in a long form, so that as it's grating into the grater, it will come out in long strands. That is very beautiful. Look at how it is. This is the outcome of our carrots. Then our onions, it's not necessary for me. I don't necessarily keep it long because I'll still use for samosa. So I just dice everything to fine sizes the way it suits for both samosa and spring roll. So when I'm done with this prep, we go straight ahead to combining all this together. I'm as well using sweet corn for the samosa, so that's why I'm opening that. Now this is it. This is what we are using to make this. You can see the cabbage, the minced meat and all that. So now we start. What you see me pouring, I'm pouring in sesame oil. I added sesame oil and a little vegetable oil before I added my onions. So I'm sauteing the onions with seasoning cube, curry, thyme, oregano before I add my minced meat. I also added my garlic there. So what you see me add now, I added dark soy sauce and light soy sauce. Then I like adding onions in between. I also added pepper, then my sweet onions. I stir, add my carrots, the green pepper. By then the meat has been cooked, okay? So I then stir. One thing you will concentrate on this, you cook the minced meat until there is no water. If you see there is no water in there before I added the veggies, because those ones won't take time. So I added salt to taste, and that is it. That is the outcome of our samosa. So we are scooping out. We'll use this same pan, yes, to make for our spring roll as well. We also added sesame oil and a little vegetable oil. Then we saute our onions. I'll be using garlic. That's the garlic you're seeing there. I'll add cabbage. Once I add the cabbage, I'll mix together. Then I'll add my spices: curry, thyme, oregano. There'll be oregano, there'll be dark soy sauce, there'll be light soy sauce, there'll be pepper, more seasoning. Then I stir. Once I'm done stirring, I'll then add my carrots. When I add my carrot, I mix together. I add my green pepper, test for salt. If there's no much, if it's not enough for seasoning, I add more seasoning to it. So once we are done with this, we'll bring it out. I like doing this on medium, it's not low heat, because these vegetables can absorb water. So I like doing on medium heat, and voila, that's it. So these are samosa and our spring roll. Now back to our dough. You see how the batter is. The batter is ready, and I guess it's up to an hour. So I heated the heater, applied our pan, When it's hot, I raise it up from the burner so that I can work the paste around the non-stick pan. Please always use non-stick pan. If you observe, my own non-stick pan have started giving patches because I've used it for long, so we are still managing it. So please concentrate on how I do this thing. One beautiful thing about this method is that even if you've rubbed it on your pan, you can still use your hand to either fill in any holes you see or even make it wider than how it is. You can reduce the size, you can increase the size. So once it has heated, you peel off from the pan. This doesn't take long. Within 2 minutes each of them are over. So you just see how I feel. It's not as hot as you think, but then you just allow it to heat up. When it heats up, so you observe. You see, you look at what I'm saying. If you're observing who, you take the batter and paste on it, then you peel off one it's heated. If you try once it doesn't work, keep trying, you will achieve it. Don't give up. Then I'll show you how I do for my spring roll. My spring roll sheets are a little smaller than my samosa. This one is for samosa. If you see, I'm doing it almost the whole of the pan. I'm not going further because of those patches around. I'm doing it almost the whole of the pan. That's, let's say, between 8 inches and 9 inches wide. That's how for the samosa. Then for the spring roll, let's say within 6.5 to 7 inches. When the 7 inches, 7.5 circumference, that's what we use for our spring roll. So once we are doing that, we'll use a wet towel. That's a damp towel, not wet, damp, to cover our sheet so it doesn't dry out. So I'm just repeating this process so that you see how it's been done. Now you see this sheet is a little smaller than that one. This is for our spring roll. It's not as wide as the other one. That's what I'm trying to say. When I'm making for spring roll, the sheet is smaller. But when I'm making for samosa, the sheet is wider. So if you practice, you'll be perfect. Just follow the process like you see me do it. So now I'm done with all those things which we have done, and I want to show you how we wrap this. These are our spring roll sheets. You see they're smaller than that of the samosa, and they're very pliable. You see, the samosa is this one by the right, while the spring roll is the one by the left. So while I'm working, I'll still cover it. So let me show you how I cut out our samosa. You know the sheet is wider, so remove the edges, then we divide in 3 places, 1, 2 and 3. So when you do this, how I'll divide all of them until I exhaust all the sheets we made. I'm trying to achieve, like I said, 55 to 60 sheets, and I'm using 1 kg flour to do this. I'm just showing you a repeated stuff so you understand. Yes, and this is it. You can as well put the sheets together while I'm raising and dropping, so that I don't put the one which is smaller than each other. Let all of them be in the same size, so when I'm trimming out using my pizza cutter, I won't disfigure the ones my eyes can see, the sheets my eyes can see. So that's why I'm laying them using the sheets that are on equal sizes. So you can as well do it like this to be a little faster, or you can cut them one by one like you saw me do from the beginning. So once you're done, you see separating is not that bad. It's something you can just do. Easy does it, very easy. Yes. So once we are done with this, I'll show you how we wrap. Look how beautiful this one I wrapped. I'll show you how I do this. So I curve. If you didn't see the beginning of this, just know that I tried to create a cone, but I'll repeat it. I tried to create a cone, fill in our samosa fill, press in, keep turning it around to give me that angular samosa. At the end, I use the fill to seal up. What we are using to seal is the same batter we use in making the samosa. Just that before I used it, I toned it down by adding some drops of water so it will be a little toned down. You can use it that way without toning, but that's how I want it. That's why I added a little water to tone it down. So what you're saying is I'm trying to seal up any hole I see there. Any hole I see, I try to seal up. So watch how I do this again. At the point where I will clip the angle, I'll put some liquid, then I'll curve it to get that funnel looking shape. Then I'll fill in the samosa fill. When I fill in the samosa fill, press in, then I achieve that angular shape. Whatever excess, I'll use the seal to lap it and close everywhere. So you see it. Remember, don't give up at first try. Keep working on it and you will achieve it. I'm giving you more instances or more example for you to follow. So that's that. Yes, I'm trying to conclude all of it. Remember, our aim is to show you how we pack this for you to use later. So we're done with that. Now let me show you how we make our spring roll sheets. Just watch it. I try to use the batter to place at the edges. Why? Because I like the sheets to lap. I like them to lap even while we roll. Yes, that's to seal up. Then you roll. Yes, things like that happen, and that's why you need to make your sheets a little long enough to cover any of that when it occurs. So that's it. Let's do another one. You put your spring roll fill. You add the liquid at the edges. You brush the fill at the tip. You brush liquid at the tip. You wrap, you roll. Very beautiful, very neat. This is how you get your spring roll. And this is how we'll do all other spring roll, all other sheets that are remaining. For the third time. You seal with the butter. Very beautiful, right? Sorry for the yawn. So that's how we did all of them, and this is it. This is it. Very beautiful, right? Then when we are done, I pack using nylon like this. I pack in 10 because there's some persons who want to buy smaller numbers, so I pack in 10. So when I pack, I sell that. No matter the number you want, we sell in this pattern. I will advise, if you're doing what you stock, please do what you can finish within a week, so that you eat healthy. what you can use within a week, what you can sell within a week. Don't go and store for months, it will not be fine. Work for weeks. I prefer stocking for weeks. When you know your buying strength, your customer strength, you produce and stock for a week. It's better that way. So once you've done this now, you put them in your freezer, not fridge, please. You put in your freezer. And many a time I advise you fry frozen so that you don't have any challenge of tears. Fry frozen using medium to high heat. So that is it. This is the outcome of our spring roll. This is how we do it and stock for our buyers or for those whom we fry for. Will you want to try this method? Tell me about it. Also tell me where you're watching from. I would like to know. Thank you for watching. I still remain Stacia.